Good morning, everybody. We're moving on to something new today. So we're no longer looking at music through the ages. So you have learnt about Baroque music, classical music, and Romantic music. We're leaving that for the minute. I'm going to move on today to notation. Now, this should be revision for most of you because we have all studied notation in year 7. So I'm hoping that a lot of this you will already know and it will just be revision. Your LO for today is to practice reading notes on the stave. So to be extending, you can read pitch. Now remember, in music, pitch means how high or low the notes are. So you can read the note on the treble clef and the bass clef. You could read ledger lines, and you also know the note positions on a piano. Okay, so I'm going to go through those 4 things, and if at the end of the lesson you can do all 4, then you are working at extending. Advancing, you can read pitch on treble and bass clef, and you know the note positions on a piano. And if you can read pitch on either the treble clef or the bass clef by the end of the lesson, then you are on track. The stave. In music, there are 5 horizontal lines, and we call those lines the stave. And all of the notes are put onto those lines or put in between those lines, and that's how we know what the notes are. If a note sounds higher than another note, we say that it is higher in pitch. Okay, so the pitch of the note is higher, and it's written higher on the stave. If the note sounds lower, then we say it's lower in pitch, and it's written lower on the stave. So there's an example on the board for you now. So you can see the notes that are lower in pitch are lower down on the stave than the ones that are higher. The shapes on the stave above are note heads. That's what we call them, note heads. So in the example, you can see there's 4 note heads which are low in pitch and 4 note heads which are high in pitch. Note heads are ovals, not circles, and they need to be written clearly so that there's no doubt which line or space they are on. So there's some examples there for you to see. Each note has a name, and the name is a letter name. So it will be A, B, C, D, E, F, or G. In music, we don't have an H, so it starts at A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it goes to another A. As you go through the alphabet, the pitches get higher. So A is lower than B. B is lower than C. C is lower than D, and so on and so on. And when you move from one note to the next note, we call it a step. So if I move from A to B, that's one step. If I move from B to C, that's one step. If I moved from C to E, that would be 2 steps because we've gone C to D and then D to E, so that's 2 steps. Have a little look at the diagram to help you understand that. Make sure you understand pitch and steps. If you don't, just re-watch this section of the lesson.